What's up, guys? Look back to Sports Talk 101. In today's video, well, it's the off well, it's technically the offseason for many teams in the college football world. And the semifinals is just finished. I'll make a separate video of that. We'll get ready for the championship game on Monday, January 19th. I'll talk about that. Preview predict that game in a separate video. But this time of year, about a day after January 1st, is when the transfer portal open, and we'll be tracking out portal. I waited just to see how things go. I was going to make a video of the first day portal, but usually there's no point. Usually the first 3 days, because people just open, wait for teams to enter, players to enter, and to transfer. So we'll break down some transfer. We'll talk the top really latest transfer, biggest transfer for certain teams, based on position, how they fit in the team. My source for this is 24 Sports, best resource for transfer portal, recruiting, anything you want to know about certain teams, recruiting and transfer, how to do, is 24/7 Sports, really good website. I recommend checking them out. So the biggest names, we'll start with the biggest names, I guess. But here's the latest. You got let's go with the corner from UConn, go to say. So USA gets two boys, corner and wide receiver. The biggest story coming out of this, here's some other ones. These are the names so far. And then you can see the name, position, the star they are, what original team on this side, of course, the new team on the right side. Let's see here. I think the biggest names. There are some big names here. Okay, a lot of these, don't give me, these are big names, and I would love to go over this, but I will go back to some players too. But let's get to the biggest names, because I want some sort of line, and I think there's some sort of line that everybody is, of course. But you see, before we get to the top players, but look at here. It's so far again. Polls open from January 2nd to 16th. So 16th is the last day to cut off for the NHS poll. Doesn't mean you could be committed, but then you just last day to enter. And then after that, you are commit. You can return to the team. And we've seen a lot of people returning back into the team. But so these are all the updates as of, I think, January 10th. This is all the updates as of January 9th. Hopefully this, and what I see, this means they stay the same. They're not going to stay in school. They'll stay at the same university. And then the biggest one, and I'm going to say this too, when you look at the chessboard, you look at, okay, who can fit where? Who's to get the best player? Then we'll look at the chessboard rankings in terms of teams, where they'll look at as well. But we're going to individual, and as we go down, you can see here, a lot of players are committed yet, which is, okay, best time to commit. And okay, so Evan, let's for example, Bortoric, last snapper, for example, Michigan to Northwestern. I think the biggest needs they have entered later in, let's see, earlier in a week, maybe it's like 8 or so, I think earlier days. That may be still in the portal, but but these bigger names are still adding the names into the portal. But let's see here, any big ones. Let's see. And you look at these players and where they're going. Sometimes you can see high school recruits, and the portal goes something else. The biggest name, here we go, John Henry Daly, the edge from Utah, joined Cunningham and company in Michigan. Got Tyler Hayward, a first tackle. You lose recruits there because Kyle Cunningham becoming head coach. That's the biggest recruit. That's the biggest name and biggest land for Michigan right there. Hats off there to Michigan letting him into the portal. And another name that a lot of people are not realizing. And especially in this life, I know he just committed. And look, I get it. There's a lot. I mean, that's what John Henry did. It's well, they will play from Utah opposite for a long time and was. the quarterback, right, for Utah. I know his name is slipping my mind. I think he's retired now from. But besides, what's the big names besides the kid that's in the portal? Well, there's so many kids in the portal. You don't know who's the biggest name on. Well, who's the biggest name? Well, that's him, right? Got Taylor Tandem, running back from Oklahoma. He's going to Michigan. That's a big name. Now, what about the big names that a lot of people are not talking about? Well, they can say, Anthony Jones, the edge from USC, going to Nebraska. Or you're going to get Lonnie LaFou, linebacker from Texas, into going to Colorado. Or you'll get, let's see, Tate Bottom, the safety from Harvard, to UCF. Wayne State to, I think that's UTSA. Yeah. Werner Smith, the corner. You see the D1, D2, D3 schools in here. Now, the biggest name, a lot of people that talk about this. And I would like to say, we did talk about those two teams, right? Two players, big names. I think it's one player that nobody's talking about. It's a player that I've seen play. It's coming from a team, well, we don't expect a team. And I know it's going to come up. I know his last name. Oh my God, where you go? Jesus. And well, you'll be surprised. Well, I know who this guy is. Now, I watch now college football to know certain players from certain teams. I would imagine Drew Buchanan will come to Michigan. You see a lot of Utah players going to Michigan because of culture change. Of course, a lot of players, I would say going to Penn State because of culture change. Anytime culture change, you're going to see the players usually follow the coach. I mean, that's usually Trey Borowski, the kicker, going from Pitt to Michigan. Where is it? He's, I think, a junior. He's in the portal. Oh, there you go. Yeah, he 7th of January. Where you go? Cameron Brown, the punter from UNLV. Have you ever watched any of the UNLV games? He was so good at UNLV. His punting stuff was amazing. He's coming now to Michigan. Hats off to him. Welcome to Amazing Blue. The other player that, Davis Warren. A lot of people are going to talk about Davis Warren. Yes, he's a great job at Stanford. This is a massive grade. Stanford's getting a massive upgrade at quarterback. Well, let's say a massive upgrade. Let's say massive upgrade. And from the previous quarterbacks they have had. And I mean by this is, Jalen Warren was a great admission. Yeah, keep something out though, right? But he's a really good player. This story, cancer kid, walk on in Michigan. He beats Ohio State 13-10. This team and what he's done for this program in Michigan, he's going to do the same thing he's done, and he's going to do it in Stanford. This is a player that a lot of people are talking about. Yeah, a lot of Michigan players are going to be talking about him, but he's a really good quarterback, okay? Well, I'll say really good quarterback. He's a decent quarterback. Take it back. Decent quarterback. Yeah, he'll throw this here and there. But that's what good quarterbacks do. They develop. They go learn. And he has a lot of experience in playing quarterback. So he's going to get the chance to play for the ACC, one of the worst conferences right now, except for maybe Miami or Florida. Miami, Florida might save the ACC this year. But I doubt it. We'll talk about that in a different separate video on that. But that's a really good job there by Warren. Let's go there. But he's a decent quarterback. And that's a lot of people that talk about in the portal. Draft got, type of players coming in, walk-on guy, that type of player. You see, there's a lot of players in the portal, right? You're gonna go. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go every single player because that'll be like a 45-minute video, right? I cannot go every single video. But I'm gonna go to the early days. Andrew Spa coming back to Michigan. That's the biggest news story. Now the biggest story is a player that I know, Samaj Morgan, going to USC. A lot of people's great school quarterback, one of the great wide receivers to go to Michigan. I thought he'll come back next year. Players collect Samaj Morgan from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, plays for University of Michigan for Jim Harbaugh, goes to the national championship, by the way. Now go to the USC, go to West Coast. This is another player a lot of people are not talking about. He's a really good wide receiver. And Nico Malivia is going to have elite. He's gonna be a great weapon. He's probably the top receiving top weapons at USLA next year. Good luck there, Morgan. Another player a lot of people are not talking about, or maybe people talk about. Quee Thompson, the corner, going to Colorado for Notre Dame. A lot of people are not talking about. He's played a really good job at Notre Dame in the corner position. In I think the secondary, a lot of people are talking about because the way the Notre Dame has played this year, he did a good job for the Fighting Irish. Jordan Washington, tight end, a four-star from Texas. Hopefully he does well there, wherever he goes. I mean, look at these players, and well, who's good where? Well, any other big names? Even some small names that players that talk about. I mean, look, every single player here do either with high school recruit or actually play time at the previous university has done a good team. I mean, like team like Clemson, Southern Louis. I'm sure he was a great corner. Player like Horace was great. I'm sure he was great at North Carolina. I mean, I can go on and on this list. Okay, so this is the list so far. But we'll go up and we'll look at the rankings right now where we look at teams, how in transfer portal. How teams are doing in transfer portal. Let's go up. We're going to go school. We're going to do all. School, Big Ten. We'll start with the Michigan Wolverines because we'll go team. We're going to look at conference by conference. It's easy to do this way. And then we'll go to top, okay? Wolverines, of course, lose. They lose. Who did lose? They lose Frederick Moore. Or they lose Porter. Commit. Now, Haynes and T. Metcalf and Porter, I have a feeling that these two may come back. We'll hope they can come back. Biggest one is getting Daly, Haywood, Hood, some high school recruits. Tatum, coming from Oklahoma. Keene, a lot of people don't talk about him. He's going to ASU. You'll bring in Nebraska from Pitt. You'll bring Cameron Brown from UNLV. Warren goes to Stanford. Smart said Morgan going to UCLA. Looks like Cameron back in. You have Sullivan going to Oklahoma. You have Stay Home go to Alabama. Sullivan going to Minnesota. Parker going to Arkansas State. Arkansas, sorry. And then you have Connor Jones going to there. So you can see here. Source for from Michigan. And we go to top. Top players, right? You look at top players. Look at quarterbacks. You have Sam Levitt, Brandon Wilson going to Texas Tech. Look at play there. Of course, you got Drew Michigan. Tell you what, talk about no Texas a lot. I don't want to touch Texas. Why would you look at his highlights? If you look at his highlights, Google Drew Maker, no Texas highlights. He's a really good quarterback. He's gonna fit in Oklahoma State and maybe get the program back to West Virginia. That's the biggest player right there. Cam Coleman, whoever lands Cam Coleman from Auburn, he's the top wide receiver right now in the portal. Whoever gets him is gonna get a really good receiver there. Of course, that's Coleman going from Penn State to Tennessee. The edge, Coach Dan Winston, the edge. Smith, the defense lineman. Who else is the biggest names? Look, these are all big. DJ Lagway going to Baylor. Dylan Viola, we'll see where he goes. DeAndre Moore Jr. You have who else? These are all big names, right? Yeah. Devon Hopkins going to Alabama. Nick Moss goes to Indiana. Whoever goes to Indiana, okay. Walk, bite, Lagway. We're gonna look at. Okay, look at status. And what we're going to do is we're going to top Sanford Porter. No. Sanford Porter. These are by teams in university, college, whatever. And so you have 5 stars here. Total commits, team here. Ranking here, team here. How many total commits? How many 5 stars? How many 4 stars? And 3 stars. Penn State, 3 commits. 4 5 stars, 4 5 4 stars, 21 3 stars, 0 5 stars. LSU 18 commits. Oklahoma State 39 commits, 14 for Texas Tech. Indiana 12. Ole Miss 9. Let's see, Oklahoma 10. Louisville 22, 11 coming for California. 29 is Arkansas. Michigan comes in. I believe Clemson is 56 with 8 commits so far. Michigan has 4 commits. Again, the portal just started. A lot of teams, more and more teams will enter the portal. It's time for the portal. And I'm going to bring this out. And maybe I'll just talk about it now, actually. And this relates to transfer portal because the future of college football. And this is what's going to bug me. I'm not for this. And it's a long video. So that's transfer portal ranking. Let's look at the top 50, where teams are located right now. So possibly who they go, where they go. Able to track it. We'll see how who goes where. We'll keep tracking it as we go, as long as the portal's open. I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to be blatantly say this outright. There needs to be a fix in a transfer portal. The transfer portal right now is out of control. And I'm going to talk about the transfer portal and the college football, way the college football, and this is a separate video. Because the NCAA also is another separate pet peeves, and on the this could be a separate video where I'm going to talk about the transfer portal, why it can be fixed, how it can be fixed, and all that. But there needs to be some changes into the world of college football, how teams develop, how teams are good, how we view teams. And I'm going to talk about that in a separate video, okay? That's what I'm going to do, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, there's a little update on the transfer portal as of today, or whenever the video comes out. So far, so good. We'll keep an eye on the transfer portal. Any big news, follow my YouTube channel, subscribe to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll do my best to follow the transfer portal, get some big news out there. Check out my Instagram and my TikTok, all my social media, because we're supposed to look up Social 101. I'm going to do my best to get everything out on my social media. Hopefully, I can do that. So, any suggestions, comment below on my YouTube channel or check my Discord page. Link should be in the bio, YouTube's bio. I am going to do my best to link it. Hopefully I can link my socials down below in the video description of the video. I've tried that, has not worked out, so we'll see. Prayers that that's worked this time. Like and share, hit the notification button. I am Sport. I want to sign out. See you next video. Peace.